It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Lions and the Panthers, and it comes your way next.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault, and that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. Ready for football now from sunny North Carolina. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Well, Sanders there with a first down carry that might have gotten a yard. Is that second down?
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9. Set him back 5. To throw on 2nd down. Kramer. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And that's good for a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. Here comes the Lions punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Here's Smith to return it. Call it 46 yards on the punt. Just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. So here now are the Panthers for their first drive of the game. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Foster on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So now a 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing on 1st down, Kramer. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down, Kramer. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Kramer trying to lay one up deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kramer. He's got Perriman. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Looking to throw. Kramer. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. 2 straight sacks have him backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Kramer. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A first down carry for Foster. And Foster loses the football. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Extra point forthcoming. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
It's their 3rd drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that second drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there.
Here we go. Here we go.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the run, it's Foster. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Second and 12. They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run with Sanders, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
On 1st down, Kramer. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Kramer. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Finds a seam inside the 40. And down to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, the coverage there, airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there because they were taking a shot at the end zone, but you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
They'll start on the ground with Foster. Oh, nice move. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break up the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Foster. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. There's a ball thrown right side and complete, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on, and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Second down and 3, ball on the 7. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Matt Rule, a risk taker in college, going for it. They'll run with Davis. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Lions will take over. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Kramer. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Kramer. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the... Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
On second down, it's Foster. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Open man here is Proehl. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Handoff, running left is Davis. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Open man here is Foster. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
That's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to count for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They're going to look to throw. That is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On first down, it's Foster, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They keep it in the hands of Foster. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and punch it in with Foster. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action.
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Just like that. Just like that.
2nd and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. They'll try and run for it with Foster. And he takes it into the end zone for the Panthers touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Panthers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another run with Sanders. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Kramer. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. On 1st and 10. Kramer. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's brought down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a carry for Sanders. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They'll go again with Sanders. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. On play action, they'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
57, Mike, 57. Let's go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's caught on the right side at Smith. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. He's back to throw. This is Smith with a grab. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. The dramatic score to tie it, and now they just need the PAT to get the lead late fourth quarter.
So much for the touchdown maker. It's all about the extra point attempter. And I can't wait to see how this one turns out.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's capped off by the touchdown and the ever-critical extra point. So it is a 1-point lead here in the final minute of action.
Kick this one away, and off it goes.
From the 6. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
So now the Lions down on the scoreboard. A little over 20 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. To throw.
Gets this to Moore. And he'll manage maybe 10 yards, but they'll surrender that defensively, no problem.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he's going to have a first down as he stops the clock with 12 seconds left to play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Kramer. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.